My name is Hugh Hefner. I'm 35 years of age, and I'm editor-publisher of Playboy magazine. In 8 years, I've built an empire worth $20 million.
Hello, YouTubers. Thank you for coming to watch my video. So today I wanted to do a video on Hugh Hefner on his birth chart. And I do Vedic Astrology, so when I do his chart and it seems a little different than what you have, then that's probably because I do Vedic. Western is a little bit different than Vedic, and it's just all about the degrees and the mathematical difference. And the Vedic Astrology goes by the Earth tilted on its axis, and Western goes by the Earth going straight up and down. So to me, I feel like logically it would be, you know, the Earth tilted on its axis. I mean, we still don't know, you know, we find out things later in life that things aren't true. So anyways, I wanted to do this video though about Hugh Hefner because he was really interesting to me, and I like to look at people's astrology charts because they are, it's interesting to find out, you know, what made them do this, what kind of energies they had, and to me it's just very interesting. So it's just something I like to do, and I'd like to share that with you. So Hugh Hefner was born on April 9th, 1926 in Chicago, Illinois, and he was born at 4:20 p.m. Yes, I did say 4:20 p.m. Anyway, so with this, he would be a rising sign of Virgo. And so let's talk about Virgo. Virgo is very intelligent, creative. They work with their hands. They are very, they're servants as well. They do things for other people. They're kind of like selfless, but yet at the same time, they can be very selfish. Just depending on the aspects, what sits there. A lot of things can change in a person's chart, not just their signs. It depends on their planets and what's, you know, aspecting them, and there's so much to it. But I'm just running by where the houses are and the planets and what Nakshatra, which is a lunar mansion, which is at what Vedic astrology is, what they call the lunar mansion, when you have different pods in each of the zodiacs, and it kind of gives a different meaning of each person. And like, you can know 3 different Virgos and they can act 3 different ways. It's because they're in 3 different pods of the zodiac. So he was a person that was very nitpicky probably, but more nitpicky on himself. Like, he was always trying to improve whatever he was working on because it wasn't never good enough probably, and so he worked really hard on everything he did. And Virgos are very good, hard workers. They like to be very honest and truthful. Sometimes they can be manipulative. They can they're stubborn, hard-headed. And so let's talk about the nakshatra that it is. And so he has the nakshatra of Atara Falguni. And Atara Falguni is ruled by Venus. And so Venus is about beauty. It is about love. It is the finer things in life. It is kind of the materialistic things in life. And we know that he lived his life of a materialistic way. But we also know that Venus rules women, females, and so we know that he had tons of females around him. The natural house for Virgo is the 6th house, which is like your everyday life, your work, the people that you are around every day. And so he is definitely a person that was around women all the time, and that was his work as well. And so Venus, though, it is about beauty, and he wanted to share the beauty of everything to everyone. Okay, so Atara Falguni are very loyal people. They're very loyal friends. They like to have family. They like to unite with people. They like to unite people together, even if they're not friends or even if they're not family. He likes to have all those friends and unite people together, which we could see that he really did unite a lot of people together. These people love that family feeling, and he obviously had a big family. They weren't blood related, but they were a big family. And these people, they like to be in relationships, and it's like they can have many different relationships, not saying lovers, but they can have just many different relationships, friends, lots of friends, and maybe relationships. And these are people that, like I said, they're always trying to improve their self. They are always trying to improve everything. They want the world to be good. These people are naturally happy people. They are happy-go-lucky. They are also people that are honored by some way, and we know that Hugh Hefner was honored by many people, especially men, you know. And these people also are headstrong, stubborn, and they're very down on themselves sometimes because they feel like they're not doing the right thing good enough. All right, so his second house. His second house is about family and your past, like growing up. It's also about money and your finances. And so it is ruled by Libra. He has no planets here, but this is a good way for you to kind of see his stability in his life growing up. And so it is ruled by Venus. And Venus, like I said, is love, it is beauty, it is the finer things in life. So these are things that, not necessarily that he had the finer things in life, but he had a lot of love and he had a lot of respect. And also when he was growing up, he kind of, it probably could have been like a balancing thing, like he always felt like he had to balance things out, but in all reality he was pretty chill, laid back, and his childhood might have been pretty good. Now because Venus rules that, you do look at Venus, where does it set in your chart, and that kind of gives you a little bit of more insight about money and your childhood. So his Venus sets in the 6th house, which is work. It's also debts, and it sets with the moon, and moon represents your mother. So what's very interesting is that his mother was the first to give him a loan so he could do the Playboy magazine.
But I, of course, had no money at all. None. I went to my family and told my father what I was doing and asked him whether or not he would invest or loan me some money. And he, being a conservative accountant, felt it was not a good business deal and declined. And as I was leaving, my mother took me aside and said that she had some money of her own because she had worked during the war. And she gave me a check for $1,000. We managed to put together the total of $8,000, and that is what the magazine and the Empire was launched on. And I came alive that summer. I was tremendously confident.
And she had given him $1,000 so he could do this magazine. And so he was in debt with her, but she is where he really gained his money in life. And that goes back up to the 2nd house of gains, money gains. So that's very interesting. All right, so let's go to his 3rd house. 3rd house is siblings. It's usually younger siblings, but not always do I see the energy of just the younger siblings here. But it also is about childhood, intelligence, or how they learn, how you learn, whatever. It's also about your creativity, a lot of things, hands. But he has Saturn sitting here, and Saturn is a planet about, it's kind of like he brings you your karma. He's just the delivery man. He doesn't give you the karma, like he's not responsible for the karma, but yet he is. He's like there to teach you. He's kind of like the grandpa that says, you know what, you know you're not supposed to do that, and he'll make you do it over until you get it right. And so in this part of his life, he had to struggle with this, but he achieved it, okay? So Saturn set in this house of creativity, and so his childhood. And let's go back to the Virgo rising. With that Virgo rising, and his creativity sitting in there, and Saturn sitting in that third house would bring more of that kind of OCD. I got to do this right. He always felt like he needed to do his stuff over again, probably. Like his creativity, his drawing, his work. He wanted to make it perfect. All right, so it sits in Scorpio. And Scorpio is about that deep feelings. It's about a lot of things, but it is mystical at the same time, and it's that 8th house energy. And what is 8th house energy? 8th house energy is about sex. It's about the things that people don't talk about. It's about that hidden stuff, occult-like stuff. So that kind of brings the sexual pleasures into using his hands and writing, which we all know he made a magazine about sex. It was about sex. And so that makes so much sense. And so the Nakshatra, the lunar mansion that it sets in, is Vishakya, and it's ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is intelligence. He's the guru. He's the smart one. He's the teacher. He likes to learn. But these people are very victorious, and they're determined. They have strong will, but they also have consideration for other people, and they care about other people. These people are always achieving their goals. They make goals, they set goals, and they go for it.
You know, I published a little penny newspaper when I was 10 years old. I started a school paper in 7th grade and drew cartoons and comic books and wrote stories and published a little magazine called Shudder. So I was in rehearsal, but I certainly never imagined in my wildest dreams how my life was going to turn out. It's to create something you really believe in and play some role in changing the world.
They're strong-willed people. They're determined. This has the star of prosperity. So these people can be famous. Also, there is always people that are around them that are jealous. And we know, I'm sure plenty of men were very jealous of Hugh Hefner. I mean, who wouldn't? He's got all these girls, and, you know, it's bound to determine that people were jealous of him. But these people are people that have the power to have and behold whatever it is that they are targeting for. These people also, they will have, it's like they will do anything to get their success. It's like they are that headstrong. They will do go, go, go until they have the success that they are trying to achieve. They will achieve it.
You know, I'm a kid who dreamed impossible dreams. I was raised in a very typical Midwestern Methodist home with a lot of repression, and very early on I escaped into dreams and fantasy fueled by and large by the movies and the music of my childhood. I think the message for other people out there is hold on to your dreams, whatever they may be. We're here for only a little while, and I think that life can be a grand adventure, and I think you should celebrate it.
They are also people that love to entertain people. They like to be around people. Sometimes they can be over the top, like with what they want. Like people will be like, I don't think so. That's not going to work. But they achieve their goals. They will do anything to get what they got to get just to get what they want. And so these people also are people that just never give up. They don't ever give up. They just go, go, go until they get what they are wanting. All right, so let's go to his 4th house. His 4th house is a representation of home life. So no matter if it's when you were young or through life, this represents your home always, okay? And so he has K2 that sets in his 4th house, and it is ruled by Sagittarius. So in his home, to me, Sagittarius are people that have their own philosophies, their own beliefs about things, rather if people want to go with them or not. Most of these people can talk people into believing what they believe in, and they make it feel like no matter what it is that they say, it's true, okay? But these are very religious people sometimes, like they have their own beliefs, not saying religious, but they are very spiritual, I should say. They have their own beliefs, and they try to share those beliefs with others and, make others believe it. And so he has K2 setting here. K2 is your karma planet. It's like what you achieved in your last life, and then Rahu sits directly across from it, and it is what you need to achieve in this life. And so K2 and Rahu are your karma planets, and to me it's like something that you got to learn how to balance in this lifetime, because in these two areas of your life, wherever they set, it's like you're either a whole bunch of this energy or you're a whole bunch of that energy. And it's like once you learn how to balance that out, your life seems to go a little bit easier than just being completely this one or completely that one. It's because they're very strong energies. And so K2 can be, it's a malefic planet, but it can bring riches. It can bring fame. It can bring the total opposite as well. But for Hugh Hefner, let's be real. He had the most biggest house that there was. I mean, not that there was, but he had a huge mansion, beautiful. That was his home. His home also, though, he might have always felt like he was separated from his home, just because K2 gives that kind of like that disconnection of home life. And so when you have Rahu in your 10th house of career and you have K2 at home, it's like these people always pay more attention to their work life than they do their home life, and they will spend so much time at work, and they won't pay attention to their home life. And so if you notice, before he had his mansion, when he was married, he spent so much time at work, and his family kind of suffered from that, and his marriage did not last because of that. And so, but with this is about that energy of learning how to balance out work and home. And later on in life, when he got his mansion, he did. That was his work and his home. His mansion was work and home. And so that's very interesting. And so the nakshatra that it sets in is Atara Ashada. And this is ruled by the sun. And the sun kind of gives you like the king type of vibe, or the royalty type of vibe. But this nakshatra is about the elephant tusk. That's what it represents, is elephant tusk. These people are righteous people. They're truthful. And it's about passing information, telling people things and making them to believe. But he's trying to pass information, like pass the information about how sex is natural and it's a beautiful thing, and how it's okay to be friends and hang out with the African Americans, and it's okay to be gay. It's okay to hang out with those people. It is okay to hang out with people that you normally wouldn't socialize with. He tried to pass that information out, which is very interesting.
My apartment, and black and white, were hanging out together, drinking together, talking together.
But I hope to get in. Yeah, you want a drink? Yes, I wouldn't mind. Okay.
Part of the reason for doing the show, making those kind of statements.
These people usually have fame. They like music. They're really, most of the time, they're into humanity. Like, they want to save the world. They want to help other people. They want to do things for others, maybe give to charities, give their time or money to other people that need it. And then these people also, they have the ability to tell the truth, even when other people don't like it. They might, just be like very honest. They're just very honest, and it might hurt other people's feelings at times, but, they're just people that really don't give a crap. They're just like, well, I'm just telling the truth. These people, though, do have a hard time forgiving other people. Sometimes they never forgive, and sometimes it's just a really hard place to forgive people. But these people are very hard workers, and they can be egotistic, stubborn, and hard-headed, but they are leaders. They are leaders. People will follow them, and of course, Hugh Hefner. Everybody wanted to be Hugh Hefner. So let's talk about his fifth house. Fifth house is about your marriage life, kind of like your family, your children, your marriage. It's about more just your marriage life with your kids. It's also education. It's also creativity as well. This is really your main house of creativity. But here he has Mars and Jupiter. So Mars is about a planet. He is like the soldier. He is like the warrior. He will fight for what he believes in. And Jupiter is about expansion. He's a teacher. He might have, this is a teacher. And we know that he probably taught a lot of people how to edit his books and or his magazines. His creativity. He probably taught them, other people, how he does things, because he is very particular in what he wanted in his creativity. And Mars there, he would be very strong-willed, very mindful, very, very straightforward for what he wanted. And so we have expansion also here. That would be meaning expansion in marriage and family. And definitely he married how many women? At one time he had 7 girlfriends.
7 girlfriends?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really, truly, 7 girlfriends?
Well, you know that. You met them the other night.
Well, I didn't know that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how much of that was real.
It's real. Yeah, sure. Well, it's real.
Tell me to go away, but do you sleep with them all?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? How does that work?
It don't work very well.
So this was expansion, and Jupiter is expansion. Mars, soldier, arguments too. This could create arguments, disagreements, conflicts, and that's what it can represent. Also, Mars also is a representation of your first son. So his first son probably was a little bit nitpicky like him, because it sits in Capricorn. Capricorn, I see that as a very organized person. Maybe not so nitpicky, but, well, maybe just organized, OCD type as well. Very athletic, outgoing, interested in physical body, very organized, likes to be on time, and likes to plan things out. And Jupiter as well, he could be have a lot of kids himself. And then let's see, Jupiter also is a teacher. The Nakshatra it is in is, let's see, Shavarn. I don't know if I'm saying that right, probably slaughtered it. Anyways, it is the meaning of ear. And the ear is about people that are good listeners. They can sit and they can listen, they can teach people, they are good counselors, they can listen to people and help them in their way of thinking, or just be there to listen. And then the symbol for that is the eagle's head. And so these people are leaders. They're like, they have good wisdom. People look at them like, they think very highly of these people because they just have that energy. These people love to learn. These people also have lots of books. I don't know, he did have a library in his house, but these people always seem to have a lot of books. These people are sensitive. These people also are just sensitive to sound. Like, some of them might not like loud noises. They don't like, I don't know, they're just sensitive to their ears. These people also have the ability to see through people's bullshit. If somebody's lying to them, they're like, yeah, no. And they can cut off people and be like, okay, I'm done. This person is, no, out. I'm not dealing with them no more. They can just see through people's bullshit. These people also, they walk with maybe a swag or a limp. They walk in a special way. But anyways, so that is that house, the fifth. Well, no, he still has Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the fifth house. Jupiter is sitting in another nakshatra, which is Dhanishta. It is sitting at 27 degrees in Dhanishta. And Dhanishta is the richest one, which we all know he was rich. It's about fame. It's a drum. These people walk to their own beat of their own drum. They have the ability to make music. They have a music talent. They like music. They might like to dance. And these people also seem to be at the right place at the right time, or they do something at the right time that just catches that. You know, they can be a one-night wonder. Like, overnight, they're famous. But they have the ability to do that.
Do you think you would have dated her?
I would have loved to have. You know, I'm a sucker for blondes, and she is the ultimate blonde.
The man behind Playboy Enterprises, Hugh Hefner, reveals some personal details about his fascination for legendary icon Marilyn Monroe.
My favorite movie, without question, is Some Like It Hot.
Do you feel like you missed out by not being able to have her here in your home?
Oh, yes, absolutely, yes.
If you could have had her here in her home, what would you have done here?
Well, I certainly would have told her how much she meant to me, and means to me still.
Hefner tells me he was starting his career in Chicago when Monroe was selected as the first Playmate of the Month. The movie star's sensual snapshots were published in the first issue of Playboy magazine in December 1953.
I feel a double connection to her because she was the launching key to the beginning of Playboy. We were both born in 1926. She would have been, if she had lived, she would be 86.
Did you really not know her?
Because it was the beginning of Playboy.
Yet the deep connection he feels inspired him to make his final resting place right next to Monroe's at the Westwood Village Memorial Park.
I will be laid to rest there as well, in a vault right next to hers.
How important is that for you? And
well,
why?
it certainly has a very kind of completion notion to it. Yeah, I will be spending the rest of eternity with Marilyn.
So they also are people that have, you know, it represents a drum, and in the middle of a drum it's empty, and so these people always might feel a little empty inside. They're just kind of feeling empty, like they're missing out on something. They are people that like relationships, they like romance, they could like just friendship as well. These people always just feel like something is missing in their relationship, though. They're kind of like, they just feel empty. They feel like there's something missing there, and they just really don't know what it is. So they could have a little problems in relationships and marriage. But these people love to travel, and they love to be by water. These people also can be all about themselves if they want, if they choose to. Not saying that all of them are, but they can be. So let's go to his seventh house. His seventh house, this is Pisces, which is relationships, marriage. So in his marriages, it's kind of like, Pisces are kind of like fish. They're kind of flip-flop, flip-flop. They'll flip on one side and then flip on the other. But it's very watery, very emotional. Also can be very psychic abilities. They're kind of just mystical too. They're kind of like out of this world. They might think differently than anybody else. Like, they think things and people will be like, where in the hell do you see that that's even ever going to be something, you know? But they can make this stuff happen. They just have the ability to do it. Pisces also, they love to be around people. They love, yet they love to be alone at the same time, because it's the natural house of the 12th house, which is being solitude, like being alone, having their own time. But at the same time, they could be people that love to be around people and have fun. They could also love to drink alcohol. They are just people that are fun and outgoing at times too. But he has Uranus and Mercury sitting here. So putting Uranus and Mercury into the 7th house brings a little bit of Uranus is just this odd kind of separation as well. It's like this separation from wherever it sets. And so his 7th house, he was probably more, whenever he was married, those women felt separated from him. They didn't really feel a connection or a unity with him because he just has that in his chart. But there's Mercury there, so they could probably talk a lot and have good communication. But yet, then again, sometimes they just didn't. Maybe at first their communication was really good, and then later it was just not there. But that's just the way he had his chart. That's just what he was given. And then it sets in, let's see, his Uranus and Mercury set in the Pura Bahada, and that was the same Nakshatra I read to you that was in his other house that his moon sets in. So his moon, his Mercury, and his Uranus set all really close together in the same Nakshatra, which is the two-faced, or people that have two different personalities. They're honorable, they have hardships in life, but these people are very traditional and loving too. But now he has the sun also setting there, and the sun is about being kingly, and so in his relationships he felt like a king. He felt that he was the king. And putting it in Revati, though, Revati is about wealth. It is it's God of the safe traveling, and they like to travel overseas, but they also like to be at home. Once they travel, they like to be back home. But they are very psychic. They have vivid dreams. They have connection to the other side. They're kind, they're sweet. They're also very organized. So his marriages, he probably was very organized in. He's just got a lot of organization in his life, huh? This also denotes small animals. They also like to donate money and time, and they have a lot of compassion for other people, and they are devoted people. Once they give their self to someone, they give their self. But yet he has that Uranus sitting there, so that gives a little bit of separation. But these people do have a sort of a faith. Alright, so let's go to his 8th house. His 8th house has no planetary in it, no planetary placements, but it is ruled by Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So this could lead to 8th house is about sexual pleasures, occult-like beliefs. So this is a place where he could have a little bit of disappointments or a little bit of trouble, or he could be a warrior Adam. I'll just leave it at that. And then we have 9th house. He has no planetary placement in it, but it was ruled by Taurus. And these people love to travel, and they love Mother Nature. They live far away from their homeland, which he did. He moved to California. They love beauty. We know that he loved beauty. They manage to draw attention to themselves, and they are stubborn. Then we have in the 10th house, he has Pluto and Rahu, which we already talked about Rahu, but Pluto being there, to me, that's a little strange. It's like the kind of like this could be sexual pleasure as well, but it also can be a lot of ups and downs all the time. It's really good or it's really bad, and this is his career house. So to me, I would see this as sexual pleasure, or the energy of sexual desire maybe. But it sits in Gemini, and Pluto sits at 19 degrees in Gemini, which is Ardra. Ardra is about actually this is pretty sad. It's a sad nakshatra. It's about the dark storms. It is about that Also, this can be about that dark mystical stuff. This could be a little bit of maybe with Pluto. What I see with this would be like, let's see, like bondage or some kinky stuff, okay? That's what I see with that. Now, Ardra is also, they have a very sexual desire with them, and it's kind of dark. It's like they're trying to break free from this darkness, but it's just because it is the storm. It is a teardrop. That's what Ardra is. And then we have Rahu that sits at 28 degrees in Gemini, and Parvasu. And Parvasu is about, this can also be, well, it's ruled by Saturn, and so Saturn, like I said, brings you karma. It doesn't give you the karma, if that makes sense. He's just like the delivery man. He's like the mailman. Like, here you go. But it's ruling Rahu, the karma planet. So he was very particular on his career and what he needed to have done. He was probably indulged in his career, but that's what made him very famous. And so this nakshatra is returned from the storm. And so we had Ardra, which is the storm, the sadness, and then the next nakshatra is coming from that storm, the bright one, the light. And this is a representation of wisdom. These people are very caring. They're nurturing. These are teachers. They are happy-natured. They're smiling a lot. They love to travel, and they love to be back home, though. They go beyond their self for others. Like, they will sacrifice for others. You know, they will do things for others just to help them out. And they're also people that have a lot of wealth in their life as well. And these are people that are just naturally, when they give to others, they get tenfold back. So when they do donate time or they do donate to others, it comes back to them tenfold. And this is Rahu. Rahu, wherever Rahu sits, it is expansion. It is like 10 times bigger than what it would be. So we know that he had lots of money and he was very wealthy. All right, and then, so in the 11th house, he has Neptune at 29 degrees in Cancer, which is in Ashleisha. The 11th house is about hopes, dreams, wealth. It is about the people that you are around that bring you wealth, maybe. But Ashleisha is about a serpent. Its representation is a serpent. And these are people, Cancer people. So when he gained in life, no matter what it was kind of up and down like the waves, you know, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And it's just like up and down, up and down, up and down. And so Neptune setting here. Neptune is very spiritual as well. So he might have got money from being spiritual or believing in things that are mystical and doing things that are mystical, maybe. But also Ashleisha is about being, they are very clingy, like they are about feelings. They will cling to feelings or cling to things, and it's hard for them to let go of those. But these are people that can look at you with their eyes, and they can make you do things by just saying it. Like, they hypnotize you with their eyes. They can just talk to you, and you'll believe them, and you'll do what they want because they can do that with their eyes. They have the power. And they also have a sexual energy about them. These people are very sexual, kind of like also bondage and stuff like that. But it's like, because they're very discreet. They don't want people to know they're hidden. They kind of hide away their wants and their desires, because Cancer is a crab. They have this hard shell, but once they get in, it's ooey and gooey on the inside. So they have this hard shell. So it's like what you see is something totally different than what's on the inside. And so these people are also intuitive. They have the psychic ability. They might be into occult-like things like tarot cards, witchcraft, things like that, astrology. And these people do not like to be criticized. It breaks their heart. They have feelings about it, and they might feel like they do not agree at all. These are people that always have to have a goal. Like, they always work towards a goal in life. And then we have 12th house. 12th house is Leo. And this has no planetary placements. But this is about the sun. If you look at the sun and see where the sun sets, and the sun sets in a 7th house, and 7th house is relationships, and the 12th house is about loss. So in his relationships, he kind of maybe felt a little lost or a little beside himself, like he really didn't belong, or that he was just different from them, or he just felt alone in his relationships. When he got married, he just kind of felt alone, which, I mean, I'm guessing he did. But also, this could also represent a little bit of loss of someone's ego. Like, they really don't have that big of an ego about themselves. Like, being a Virgo rising, they are so critical upon themselves, and they are nitpicky upon themselves. It's like they know, man, I could be better than that, I could do better. They're so critical upon themselves. And then with that being there, that is, with the Leo being in the 12th house, kind of gives them a little bit of, you know, I'm not as good as people think I am. You know, I'm not that great, you know. And so this is a little bit of his chart from him. So that was Hugh Hefner's Vedic Astrology birth chart, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like, share, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I hope that you come to watch more of my videos, and thanks for watching. Deuces.